my top 10 tips and tricks for striking, boxing, kickboxing, Muay Thai, whatever. These are my first top 10 tips and tricks, how to get better, beginner friendly. Let's get into the list. So number one would be to focus on your stance. Stay in your stance. There's a lot of guys in the beginning, they want to go crazy. They start swinging crazy. They're right-handed and they start switching their stance. All of a sudden, you want to be able to stay focused, stay relaxed, just stay in your stance, stay tight. Okay. Everybody wants to get crazy and start sparring real early. You want to focus on the basics. That's what's going to carry you. That's what's going to carry you. That's what's going to take care of you when you're tired. You got to be able to stay tight. Okay. You got to be able to be confident in your fundamentals, and from there you can be able to build up all the fancy stuff. But if you don't have no foundation, well, it's going to work out. So being able to stay tight, I tell all my students to yo-yo those hands. So you want to think of it. Yo-yo comes down, comes right back up. You want to shoot that shot straight, bring it back straight. When you shoot it, don't be sloppy, don't get crazy. You want to be able to have a nice tight guard, nice tight attacks. Everything you throw is coming right back, okay? So tip number one. Okay, so tip number two would be to shadowbox. Nobody is above shadowboxing. A lot of people, especially in the beginning, they get bored. They want to do some crazy stuff. They want to spar and do a bunch of stuff. I'd say just shadowboxing by myself. Visualization is major. It's gonna help you, develop your own flow. It's gonna help you, with that mental toughness. Just being able to focus. Okay. When you're starting off, I tell everybody just focus on movement, moving smooth, not so you're moving so choppy. You want to be nice and smooth, be able to, wherever you move, you're nice and balanced. Okay, you're never crossing your feet, you're out of alignment. You want to be able to move smooth across the mat. Okay, so that's number one. Number two is being able to stay tight, looking at your defense, being able to block, parry, check. Okay, and then you want to start adding your strikes and thinking about stuff like that. Okay, so just movement, defense, offense. Okay, so that's shadowboxing. The other side of that coin is bag work. Okay, so you want to be able to, that's where a lot of people are able to, if you're not able to get consistent pad work, you can work on the bag. So you're going to be able to develop your strikes, being able to work on different angles, develop your power a little bit. You want to be able to throw something without hurting your training partners. The bag and the pads is where you do it. So number three would be just to not focus on power. Don't worry about it. It'll come. That's what a lot of the beginners say, like, how do I get more power in my right kick? Or how do I get more power in my switch kick? It feels off. How do I get more power in the hook? And when it comes to those things, the thing that people focus on are the arms when you're punching, okay? So the whole thing of what punch of a hook, of what it is, the arm should only move is it's like this much of the equation, of the total equation of the punch. Everything's coming from my legs, from my body, from my hips, and my shoulders coming across. Okay, so just focus on that kinetic chain. Moving up from the legs, coming all the way up, and then boom, throwing that shot. The power will come in time. You just work on your technique, and it will come. Don't worry about it. So number four would be to spar light to get better. So if you're looking to fight and you're a super green beginner, you gotta learn your basics first. So I don't think it's a good idea just to train for a month and jump into a fight. There's just so much you need to learn, so many fundamentals. Your body, you gotta just have that body awareness if you've never done any type of martial art that comes with just the time on the mat, time on the bag, time shadowboxing, time sparring with actual people. So there's a debate on which is better, to spar hard or spar light. You need both. If you're gonna fight, you're gonna need both. But I'd say the majority should be light, just working on your timing, your technique. Because if you can land that shot when you're just kind of going through the motions and sparring light, you can really land that shot when you're going hard. You just turn that hip over. You just give it a little bit more of that and you got it. So the main thing is actually being able to land the shots, pick your shots, and if you start going going 100% and you're just sparring hard, there's a level of fear in the beginning. So everybody's kind of scared and they're just looking to land that big shot. And there's people who learn, there's trial by fire, but to actually become like a technician and get really good at what you're doing, you got to go slow in the beginning. You just got to incrementally pick it up. There's a time for hard sparring, but you really want to take care of your body, take care of your head. You shouldn't be taking, excessive damage. If you're going home every night from your striking class and you have a headache, that's a problem. Your coach needs to be looking out for you. All right, so number 5, same as from the jiu-jitsu list, is to develop a plan. I know in the beginning people get excited and things get sloppy. You got to kind of dip your feet in the water a little bit. You got to try things out. You want to see, like, are you more of a long-range fighter, or are you kind of mid-range? Are you in the pocket? And it takes time to develop those. So you want to be able to practice each one and see what works best for you, but also just to have a game plan, like you don't want to just go in there and I'm just trying to hit him and he's trying to hit me. You want to be able to, okay, I'm going to work from the outside. I'm using my jab to gauge the distance. I'm working my way in. Okay, I want to be able to, I'm a big kicker. I want to set up my shot. Okay, so I'm using my punches to set up my kicks. Okay, so that's a game plan already. If it's MMA, I want to be able to set up my takedown. Okay, so I'm using my jab, same thing. I'm getting his hands high, boom, boom, boom. I get him thinking high, I go low. Double leg takedown. So developing a game plan is going to change your game, not just kind of going in there and seeing what happens. You want to be able to have a set goal of moves and have it end up somewhere, have a finish, have a ideal scenario in mind. Number 6 is to manage the distance. Distance management is super important. A lot of people when they're first starting out, from holding pads, they want to just keep coming forward, but you have to think, if you can hit me, I can hit you. So if you're just bum rushing forward the whole time and you're going straight, if someone's has a little bit more experience than you, he's able to move, you're gonna get caught. So that kind of reflects a little bit to the beginning where we talked about just being able to stay in your stance. Okay, so if I throw that shot, I want to be able to bring it back. If I throw that leg kick, landed nice and heavy, I want to be able to bring it back. You don't want to throw that big shot and then be lazy, and then you're now in your different stance. And if you're not comfortable there, you're going to be off balance, you're going to be out of whack, and that's when you get caught. So being able to manage the distance is major, especially when you're just starting out. Number 7 would be to develop strong eyes. There's a fighter, Eddie Abasolo, who always talks about being able to stay in the pocket and not flinch. You want to work on those reactions, okay? You want to be able to look and stay tight in your guard, and from there, you're able to see the tendencies that your training partner or your sparring partner has, and be able to, okay, now he's throwing this, he's throwing that, not just, I'm getting hit, okay? You want to be able to see what's coming at you, being able to read, okay? Now you can see what's open, what's not, okay? And you can create your own openings, okay? I go here and I go there, I go there, I go here. Mix it up. And there's plenty of drills, you can work with your buddies, just developing those strong eyes, developing, kind of taking away that natural instinct to flinch or whatever. You want to be able to stay tight. We're in a full contact sport, whether it be kickboxing, boxing, Muay Thai, Jiu-Jitsu, so you're going to get touched. That's part of the game. There's no perfect scenario where you just hit the guy once and that's it. Okay? You have to be able to plan for the worst. Okay? But you want to expect the best, but plan just in case things don't go your way. You want to be able to have a game plan, have that mental fortitude to stay tight and commit to your game plan. Number 8 would be to commit. So you want to be able to commit to your shots, commit to your punches, commit to your kicks. Like we said earlier, you're going to get hit. So there's a lot of beginners, they kind of have to chin up and they're swinging this way. They want to hit them, but they kind of want to be away at the same time. That's not going to work. So you want to be able to stay tight, okay? You're working your jab, okay? From this, it sounds a little more scary because you're closer to the danger, but here I'm more balanced. I'm able to move, I'm able to read. Here, chin's in the air. I'm not maybe able to get adequate body alignment to get a good strong jab from here. I'm just kind of flailing around. So whether it be a punch, whether it be a kick, you always want, if you're going to throw it, you got to commit to it, okay? You only put your finger on that trigger when you're ready to squeeze. Okay, so there's ways to set things up, but when you're looking to apply a technique, you have to hit it 100%. Number 9, for my people, for my little beginners, stay simple, man. Don't go crazy. I know all the spinning kicks, they look cool, all the martial arts movies, they're doing a bunch of crazy stuff, but they're on wires, bro. This is real life, we're in a mat. All you have is these 2 hands, these 2 legs, and you gotta make it work. You gotta keep it honest. There's a bunch of flashy things that can work, they can land, but if you're going against a seasoned striker and you're trying to do a bunch of flippy, crazy kicks and stuff, you're gonna get swept. You're gonna get dumped on your head. You're gonna get punched in the face. There's guys who do more of those sporty, traditional martial arts, where they're fighting with their hands down. If you're fighting a tight Dutch style kickboxer, you're gonna get beat up. It's just what it is. So that goes hand in hand with sparring with your partners. You want to keep them honest. Okay, so I'm not trying to hurt my partners, but I want to be able to keep something in their face, make them think about, oh, okay, I can't get lazy here. So just stay simple, and then from there you build. Get as fancy as you want, but if you have no foundation, everything else is going to crumble. It's going to fall apart. Number 10, last but not least, don't use your powers for evil. Great power comes great responsibility. It's a little funny saying, but it's kind of serious that I teach my students. Like if you're learning this, you're learning to defend yourself. You're learning to defend the people that you love. At the end of the day, you got to think what martial arts is. This is the art of war. Okay, so at the same time, we want to take care of our training partners. We want to take our training seriously. As things get more popular, things get watered down, techniques, whatever it be, but you have to know that this is the arts that we're studying. They're to finish a fight. There's a sportsmanship. There's a sport to a lot of these martial arts, but at the end of the day, you're learning this to defend yourself. You're learning this to build yourself, build character. Don't forget why you started. This is self-defense is always number 1 for me. All my students, I tell them that don't get too fancy too early. We want to learn the basics, and then we'll build it up from there. If there's something going on and you have the power to step in, then you use it. You don't use your powers to bully people. Don't misuse your techniques. At the end of the day, just be a good, solid person, man. That's what it comes down to. Like you want to be able for people to look up to you. You want to be able to inspire people and say, like, hey, he can do it, I can do it. You want to be a part of a community that builds each other up instead of tearing each other down. So that's what the martial arts is for me. I hope it is for you too. So that's my list. All right, so be good. Take care of your training partners. Have fun.